Double the trouble.
Oh man, guess who's back? Again.
We're back. Everyone's been wondering, Drew.
Hey,
why'd you hold off on doing the podcast for over a month?
I was just
Where
like,
were you?
I don't think so.
We were worried about you.
Hey, we are
everyone.
really excited to be back. We are
back.
This is Sober Boys with the Z.
Yep.
Throw some extra Z's on there because that's how excited we. Well, if we throw extra Z's on there, it sounds like it would be a boring time.
Triple Z. Like,
yeah.
What was that movie with? Hold on.
X.
Hold for applause. All right. So we have a new board.
And I'm just, I have to trust you that the sound effects are happening because only Taylor can hear them right now.
Yeah. And we're working on it. You know, I got a new board because it kept crashing on my own personal podcast.
It's beautiful.
It better be for $600. It better be beautiful.
Ooh.
We can have 6 whole people here if we ever want to.
That sounds like it would be a fun clown car of a show. 6
alcoholics in one room together. Sounds like a meeting to me.
That sounds like a meeting. But it also, I was just clown car because the area is a bit small for 6 people. So that would be entertaining as well. Real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Sober Boys is in no way representative of the Central Office of Alcoholics Anonymous in New York. Nor does it represent any views or opinions expressed by other 12-step programs. These are only views and opinions expressed by Drew and Taylor. And we are excited to share them with you.
That's the double PSA.
I love it. I changed it up.
You remember the beginning when I said double the trouble?
Yeah.
That's what that is.
That's very exciting.
People are troubled.
Hey, in all seriousness, we're excited to be back.
Yeah, we're here.
There's some reasons why we went away for a little bit. So we'll probably get into
We'll never tell you. Let's get into the book.
Let's get into the book. Everyone's favorite part.
I think most people I'm close with. No, I mean I relapsed again, but again I guess is the key word or not. It doesn't even matter. I just relapsed, and it was a pretty bad one. At least for. Physically it was fine, but emotionally it was rough. It was like the lowest I've ever been as far as that goes. But I'm feeling really good and confident now. I got a new sponsor. I'm doing 90 and 90. Getting right into the work. I'm already finished with my inventory. And I'm sponsoring Drew now. So
there you go. That's how it always works.
So,
real quick, since you're pouring out your heart after you're, coming back from relapse,
yes,
I'm going to text my partner real quick to let her know that I did say goodbye, even though she was in the bathroom.
Oh, she didn't hear you say goodbye?
No. Yeah, I did say goodbye.
This is relationship stuff. Really, I'm kind of working on the relationship between me and me right now.
But you didn't hear me.
That's rough. I mean,
and then we'll turn it back onto
your bathroom,
you making a Rocky-like turnaround in your life.
Yeah, it is real. I mean, I am right now. I'm on the steps. I'm on those steps in sweat clothes. I'm going to take off my sweatshirt. I'm so warm, Drew.
Yeah, please go for it.
I'm so warm, guys. For those just listening, I'm so warm.
Oh yeah, and for those just watching, weird.
Not listening, just watch.
Just strange.
Just on mute.
Turn the volume up and listen and watch the both. But we also have a light on us now, so you can see what we actually look like.
Drew, we've had this light on us the whole time.
Oh, we have?
Yeah, we've had you've been on hiatus. You've been on sabbatical.
That was new.
No, that's been here for a while. New board is the only thing that's new.
Oh my gosh!
But new board is incredible.
New Taylor, new board,
new Taylor. Hold for applause.
She says lies. Who knows?
That's a really. I mean, tell her that's a pretty forgivable lie.
Yeah.
It's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, wait, which one is easy?
12 and a half.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back. So,
okay. All right. I mean, if you insist.
So, we'll focus on, so you had a relapse, which is like a natural thing to happen to an addict or an alcoholic.
At least.
The natural world of it is what, like, my sponsor is like the natural thing to do.
Yeah.
Is to take whatever substance you've been taking to feel okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the addiction is. That's
what
the alcoholism is.
Mm-hmm.
The unnatural thing is to actually put forth the effort to live a life without that.
Yeah.
But so you were doing your natural thing.
Yeah, my old sponsor was saying, hold on, I'm here. I'm trying to make sure it all sounds good. It sounds good. It sounds pretty good.
Sounds good?
Okay, I'm done getting distracted.
Okay.
My old sponsor said that the thing he was doing at the time, this was after a relapse, which I think I've relapsed 1,700 times.
Yeah. It's between number 17 and 100.
Yeah, it is between, that was 16,000 or 1,600.
So what happens?
75.
I can't go back and say this. I can't count on both fingers. How many times? Both fingers, both hands. How many times I relapse?
That would be 2.
That'd be tough. So it happens. You just lose count.
In all seriousness, I lost my train of thought.
Your old sponsor was saying what happened to him was
well, not what happened to him, but he was saying like what he was doing was you can blow it if you want.
I'm gonna wait for our time.
Okay. He was saying, do you even know what it is?
Yeah, it's a train whistle.
Okay, it does say that on the side, but I could have rigged it up some kind of weird way.
I'm gonna the high point of the podcast. I'm gonna blow this train whistle. It will be when you least expect it.
Yeah, and only you can decide when that is.
Yeah.
My old sponsor said that what he was doing was unnatural, and what I was doing was natural.
Yeah,
it's natural for an alcoholic to drink.
We might have already talked about that.
We did. We definitely did.
Yeah.
But we've been gone for a month. Cut us some slack.
Maybe that was your sponsor that said that and wasn't my sponsor, and I stole that. What's it called where you don't 100% steal a joke, but it's like something thinking, parallel thinking. Maybe I pulled a parallel thinking.
Magical thinking.
Magical realism thinking. Those chocolates are supposed to turn into animals in this reality.
Yeah.
Sorry if I did that.
No, wait, you said that to someone else?
No, I said my sponsor said, and I was like, maybe he didn't say that.
No, it was mine. It was for sure mine, but your sponsor could have said it too.
He could have said it too, but probably not. It's not probably parallel thinking.
It's not that crazy of a thing to say.
Yeah.
So, where were we? What were we?
We're talking about your juicy relapse and how great it made.
Where should we start is the thing. Where should we start and where should we go? Let's make a game plan.
I like this. So before we took a hiatus, we put up the live podcast, which was not nearly as awkward as I felt in it. So I probably shouldn't have said I felt awkward in a live podcast.
It's okay. I did too.
I think it sounded a lot better than
It sounded good.
Yeah,
but I felt awkward during it.
But we know now for the next time.
Yeah, that's like the first time you're doing anything. Can you imagine? Just imagine you're a mechanic, and the first time you do it in front of an audience. That's kind of what we were doing.
Yeah, or imagine you're a surgeon, and you're like, I've read all these books, but it's 1776.
Yeah.
And there's too much revolutionary stuff going for me to even practice on a cadaver.
Right.
And then the British people are like, you better save them, or else we're going to put you in a firing squad. And you're like, but my name's Thomas Paine, and I wrote Common Sense. I'm not supposed to be a surgeon. That's what we call historical realism.
And it's like, should I wash my hands? No, there's no time. Don't wash your hands and do surgery. That's wasting time. This guy could die.
18th century. We don't have soap.
No.
There's still fat in the cattle.
Yeah.
We don't know how to harvest that.
Fat cattle is how I like.
It's a good band name. That's a ska band.
Fat cattle. Little fat cattle.
Yeah.
So, okay. Game plan is.
Yes.
I'm sitting in this chair.
So that's how we felt doing the live podcast. So the last time we kind of
that was October. That was October.
Mid-October. Yeah.
And then I relapsed like late October-ish.
So you're already kind of feeling a little distant from the program.
Yeah, I guess a little bit. Yeah, I wasn't getting.
Well, I don't want to put thoughts or words in your mouth.
I was. I mean, it was the same old for me as far as what.
Can you feel that coming on?
Yeah, I can, and I try to like fight it off. I kind of just try to push it away.
Yeah, you're like, no, it's different this time.
And not by doing anything I should be doing, but just kind of like
ignore it.
Literally in my head, I'm like, it's like a gnat, and it bothers me. And eventually, the gnat becomes like a wasp, and then a dragonfly, and then alcohol.
Yep.
And so
it's like a Pokemon.
Yeah.
First,
and then I went to visit my friend in North Carolina, and that was good. And then I came back, and then I found some pain pills, and I was like, I'm only going to do these pain pills. I'm only going to do these, and certainly I won't drink.
So that's the crazy thing. That's my last relapse was pain pills too.
Yeah,
and I wasn't. Were you looking for them?
You
stumbled up.
I stumbled across them.
I stumbled across them too, and I just like stared way too long at them.
Yeah,
and I was like, well, a couple will.
Yeah,
and I'll keep it a secret and take it to my grave. No big deal.
Right. Yeah, and that man, I've tried to take so many secrets to my grave, and
that's the caveat, or that's the maybe not caveat's the right word, but that's what happens when you get into AA, man.
You can't take any.
You can't take these fucking secrets to your grave.
No, because
you're like, oh man.
Even if nobody knows, I still know, and that makes me feel worse.
Because I only feel right when the secrets are out, or just like when I only feel right when I'm being 100% honest.
And yeah. And it's like I can't. So
it's like the movie Liar Liar. So
Yeah.
it's like if you're in this program, it's like you got the curse of liar liar. You only feel like you can still lie.
Yeah.
But that's not like liar liar.
But so
you feel like it's excruciating when you're trying.
Oh, it hurts. Yeah. And then the justification for me is there isn't even like a no one's gonna find out. Because deep in the back of my mind, I know it's gonna be found out by not even like I'm in trouble, but I'm like I'm gonna have to tell my sponsor.
Yeah.
But I'm like what happened to me? I saw the pain pills. I left that house I was at, and I'm taking these off. They're distracting. They're less distracting when the other way. I don't know why.
We'll have them both on.
Yeah, and that'll be better because I feel like when I'm wearing them, you can't hear me.
Okay.
But it seems like you can hear me fine. But
yeah, I can hear you.
So I was in Boyz II Men.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about him the whole time, and I was like going back.
Not a Boyz II Men concert, but that's the meeting that we go to. Since it's been a while since we've gone here.
And I was sitting in Boyz II Men, and I was just like going back and forth between like I'm gonna
in the meeting.
Yeah. And I was like I could go. I'm gonna go get him. I'm gonna go get him right now during the meeting, and then come back because the place where they were at was not very far away.
I've done that before, where I just have completely disregarded anything going on in the meeting. I've had like just general grocery lists. And I thought like when I'm really unplugged, especially when I was like younger, when I was being forced to go to these meetings by the law or other things. But yeah, so you were going over it in your head. Yeah.
And then after the meeting, I just went there and did it. And then I took like one hydrocodone and then went to Star Bar to watch comedy. And then
Did you feel it after one?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they were like 7.5s.
Yeah.
So more than 5. I also had 10s, those worked.
Yeah.
But they were really old. So that, and then just off to the races.
Did you drink at Star Bar?
No, I did not drink for about a week and a half.
Okay.
Of just taking pain pills.
You just took the pills?
Yeah. And then I drank. The night I drank was like, I was going to see Killers of the Flower Moon with my friend Luke.
Yep. Long ass movie.
3.5 hours long.
Was it really 3.5 hours?
Yes, it is. All a bit of a 305 hours.
Scorsese doesn't give a shit. He's like, I'm dying soon.
Yeah,
you don't cut a thing.
No, you don't cut a damn thing. And the article said, every minute of this movie is intentional and needs to be in this movie. Don't you dare cut it.
Let them have it.
And they're like, you are Martin Scorsese. So.
Let them have it. Okay, so you're taking pills, about to go see the movie.
And I was just like, fuck it, I'm going to drink. I'm already.
You already, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happened with me.
Yeah.
Too, is, I took a couple pain pills. I was dog sitting and I happened upon the pain pills.
And pain pills are not like, it's not like caffeine. It's not like a subtle thing. It's like, oh, this feels fucking great.
No, it's like a warm hot.
Yeah, it feels amazing.
And you're like, oh, this is what it was like to hit that sweet spot when I was drinking.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, wait, I can hit that sweet spot when I'm drinking right now. And it's just like, I'm off.
But with pain pills, and I was never into pain pills. And this last time I was, I also was smoking meth. And I've never been a pain pills guy, never been a meth guy.
Well.
But I finally discovered, like, oh, I can get to that feeling so much faster with
pill. So we've discovered new things.
Yeah, and pills are like, oh, I mean, I loved Xanax in college, but I was like,
it's different.
Yeah. The perk, Xanax stupid.
Pass the fuck.
Yeah, and
I always mixed it with alcohol. So
yeah,
I was done.
But so then I drank at that, and I was at AMC. I drank like 2 24-ounce.
You drank at the movie theater?
No, well, I snuck away and did. I ordered a triple vodka.
Did your friend smell any booze on your? Okay.
No, but and then
I wouldn't think he'd be looking for that.
I don't think, because he wasn't expecting. He's never. Luke is. I love Luke. He's not expecting me to be drunk ever.
No.
So. But then, like halfway through the movie, I went out to the MacGuffins at AMC and like got like a triple or a double vodka.
For some reason, you were saying movies, and I was like, oh, and you drank at the MacGuffin part where they're looking for the thing.
The MacGuffins, the bar, the AMC bar.
Okay,
MacGuffin.
Oh yeah, okay, that's a clever name for a bar. Was this at Phipps?
No, it's.
All right, doesn't
like
matter.
Vining Smyrna.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, don't incriminate me.
Well, that's the only time I've seen the bar was at Phipps.
They're at all of them.
I guess they're at all of them.
They're still at Phoenix. They're now at the at Phoenix Theaters in Columbus, Ohio, which used to be an AMC. Now it's Phoenix Theaters, and they just kept the bar.
Mm.
But then this was interesting. I ordered, it was a triple or a double. I want to say it's a triple, but I think I'm hyperbolizing. It was probably a double. And I just slammed it right in front of the girl, and she was like, whoa. And she was like confused that I just did that in front of her.
Is that the movie theater bar?
Yeah. So she was like, what are you doing?
Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And she was holding her small child. They're about to go see the children's movie. And she's like, holy shit.
Yeah. And, sir, I don't even work here. But so that happened. And then I drank that night. And then got home. And then it's all kind of fun.
Yeah. Then you're just off, basically.
Yeah. And then I'm
off for like a
smoking crack, smoking. It was either that night or I either drank more that night or the next night I drank enough. I was like, okay, I'm just going to go find crack now. And
that's crazy.
I went and smoked crack one night.
Not crack. Like that's it. I didn't mean to say that's how fast it happened.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then one night I just smoked crack till like 6 a.m. with several different homeless people.
Do you go to the camps and their camps, or do you just
find someone at a gas station?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to romanticize this. This is just what I do.
No, I'm always curious of like, how do you stumble
go to a gas station, any gas station around here, you can find someone and, hey, you know where to get rock, you know where to get, I usually say rock.
So you basically just like talk to somebody who's asking for change, and then they'll know.
They're just standing outside the gas station. They're either homeless or they're just there to help you find drugs, pretty much.
Okay.
They're asking for change, but
so you find a drug Sherpa at a gas station.
Yeah. And there's this one lady, her name's Yana. I can say her. We don't have to bleep that because she's probably not listening. But she recognizes me from a relapse before. So I found her one night. She helped me get Percocet, which it was like real Percocet that she got from a house. There's a house on, what's this, Moreland. There's a house you drive by. It's so clearly.
I don't know how much trouble we're gonna get in just like doing that.
I don't.
Probably not.
It's so clearly a crack house. It's got to be obvious to the cops that it's a crack house.
Yeah.
But I guess they're not.
It's not that big of a deal.
It's not. It's gonna happen. So the cops are just like. But it's obviously because there's always homeless at the same time of day. There's always a bunch of homeless people just hanging out in the driveway. And I went and I finally confirmed it for myself that that's where you can get drugs.
Yeah.
And then my parents came into town.
As this is all going on.
Yeah, my parents. It was. I feel kind of guilty about it.
I understand. I
can't help it that
I'm not going to say don't be or you shouldn't be or anything like that.
I was a very sick boy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're both very sick boys.
Yeah.
I can relate to having to hide your own shit from, family.
Right.
For sure. And I don't know how well I did. Sometimes my family will listen to this and they're like, oh snap, I didn't know that particular part. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I was good at hiding that point.
Wow, yeah.
And some other
So you get a little bit of pride.
Yeah, no, I don't know if it's pride. I was just intrigued.
Yeah.
Of like, and other things where I was like, oh, I was completely like trashed at this moment in time. My family would be like, yeah, we know.
Oh,
so it's like, it's 50-50 for how much to hide it. But I can relate to having to hide it. So you had to hide it from your family.
I had to hide. So let's see, that week was rough. The Monday was rough. And I'm like, for some reason, I'm never able to pull it together for work. I think it's because I'm my own boss, and I'm like, I can just reschedule.
Man, if this was a normal thing, I'd be talking about how I threw this whole week away because I didn't have a set schedule.
Oh yeah,
totally get that.
But especially on a relapse, I reschedule at this point.
Good luck.
Yeah. But when my parents are coming into town, like they have seen me at my worst. I am not letting this like fuck up them coming to visit. But they came, so that Monday was really rough.
Do you think they know? Like, do they know when you're getting to that point?
It didn't seem like they did this time. Because they didn't say anything. One day, like we went on a hike, and my mom was like, she said I seemed sad. I was like, and I had a show that night that they came to see, and the show went well. And I was just very surprised I was able to hold it together for the most part, but I was just like,
tell coherent jokes and
I wasn't drunk when they were there, but I got drunk later.
Yeah. That's what I do all the time is when I was at the improv theater, I would, do the show. My parents would come see the show and I'd very quickly usher them out so I could have as many, as much beer as I possibly could.
Right.
It was a beer and wine bar that improv theater.
At Whole World you would drink?
Yeah.
Would you sneak it though? Because didn't like Chip and everyone know?
They knew I was like on and off, on and off.
Gotcha.
Some people became a joke. He's like, "Are we drinking now or not?"
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting because I'm in such like a. I'm so my parents thought I was. I don't know what they thought, but I didn't want to show them that. I get this such a big sensation of like, oh, I'm gonna be in trouble if people see me drink. So I get very embarrassed, and I'm like, I can't. No one can see me like this.
There's such a weird thing where like
like I've never had that. Like I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks about me thing. I care way too much what people.
Different levels of like how much somebody should know what I'm doing, and for some reason, I kind of like would try to hide it from my partner who I was living with. Yep. And ultimately she's smarter than me. And I'm, not a very good hider when I'm drunk. And so very quickly she'd figure it out. And then I'd just, it's me and my alcoholism working together to convince her how this is going to be okay this time.
Oh boy.
During a relapse. And that way, once I could get to that point, and it was just, that was really tough times, because it was her feeling hopeless and hiding. I know she was, hiding that feeling from her, but she just wanted us to be together.
Yeah.
So it's like an ultimate sacrifice that she was making. But then in my head, I was just selfish as shit. And I was like, good, that's all taken care of.
Yeah.
Now I'll just hide it from my family since I don't live with them. And then we're all good.
Yeah.
But for me, it was a slow burn, and it would just like, I'd burn out. And then I'd, have to confess to everybody that,
But so I pulled it together for Monday. It was rough. That went, and then Tuesday I worked.
Mm-hmm.
Just hungover, worked awful.
So around the time that I was I could kind of tell when I was like, I think we're still talking. So this was after. The week before we did a podcast. Yeah.
I had done pain. I wasn't high on painkillers before, but after.
Yeah.
And then so I put then Tuesday, Wednesday. My parents came Wednesday. I was hungover on Wednesday. I worked like one day that week. My parents came. I felt awful Wednesday night, but went and had dinner with them, and just emotional, like physically fine, but emotionally like, oh, this is I hate
you're just
so much.
You're just trying to get to the end point of being alone again.
Yeah, and then now I'm like I'm ruining how I'm feeling around my parents. Nothing. They don't feel like it's not ruined for them, but for me, it's kind of ruined.
Yeah.
And I did that to myself.
And you said your mom noticed a little bit.
Yeah.
Like ultimately, like it took away, your relapse in the state that you're in took away, you being your most genuine self around your family, and to together experience a really special time, because they took money and time out of their life to come see you and kind of just spend time with you. And then I have experience of being well around them and being like working this thing and feeling really good. Difference.
So I know what it's like when I am sober and everything's going well. I know what I'm like around them, and then when I'm fucked up, it's like, this is not how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it sucks. It's a really sucky feeling, because I've done that. Yeah, I've been there too. Like,
and it's also like it's the my new sponsor. Shout out new sponsor.
Yeah,
he was saying I was kind of in this revolving door of like coming in, going out.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it was.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel like a revolving door when it's like, oh, I'm clean and sober for 6 months, 4 months, 7 months.
Yeah.
But it is.
It can be pretty easy to come back into it for the first 30 days because you have a new resolve.
Yeah.
But the revolving door is that resolve for you. And I say this because I say you because it has happened for me a lot too. Because, what I've told you before on and off the podcast.
You want a LaCroix?
Yeah, sure. What I've told you before on and off the podcast, just a plethora of drinks, this is great. Is that I know exactly how you feel, because I've lost count on my relapses, and I lost count on my relapses, and I know how detrimental that feels. And you're I see you on my trajectory. It took me till I was 31 and I'm 33 now.
Yeah.
2 years, like maybe a little 30 anyways, doesn't matter. Took me all through my 20s to get any sort of semblance or understand that I had to start doing things differently in and out of the program to get different results, which is like it seems like a basic thing, but that being said, I know the revolving door.
Yeah.
The scary thing is that revolving door can just completely shut off, and you're, I don't know. I'm trying not to try to sound so like fucking either pretentious or preachy, but it's like a revolving door, and then all of a sudden it's locked.
It locked for the good or for the bad?
Either way.
Okay. I think the bad is dying.
I think, no, personally, I think it's only locks for the bad. So you can go inside, you can get inside out of this revolving door, but you're not guaranteed to stay inside.
But where are you? How did you get out?
Say what?
How did you get out then?
So the revolving door is the chronic relapsing, right?
Yeah.
It can lock, and that's fucking dying of your disease and your alcoholism.
Can you get locked on either side? Because one side there's living,
and then the other side is inside.
Yeah,
a beautiful whatever is on the other end of the revolving door. A life worth living.
Yeah, and you think there is a point where it does lock?
I don't think it locks. I think you can go back outside.
You said it locked.
Outside is your alcoholism and addiction. Yeah. Inside is a life worth living.
I'm picturing it.
It's like a building, right?
Yeah. I'm picturing a hotel.
Okay. Picture the hotel in did you fart? Beautiful. Picture a hotel in Home Alone 2, the one with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
All right. Just grandiose. Yeah. Just a pool you can do cannonballs in and eat ice cream forever. And that sort of emotional, that's like the emotional state we want to get to. Just feeling of pools and Kevin McAllister on by himself. So that's on the inside. Outside is a direct-to-video Home Alone 3. No one wants it, and it's disgusting.
I don't think I've ever seen that one. Was it bad?
Yeah, let's go Home Alone, the remake. Outside is the remake, Home Alone 4. No one wants it. It pisses everybody off.
The kid with the bowl cut?
No, that's Home Alone 3. Home Alone 4 is like a weird chubby kid and Aaron from The Office and that other dude that had good tweets but is not a funny comedian.
Who's Macaulay Culkin was in how many?
2.
Okay, and 1 took place. Okay, 1 was in New York and 1 was at his house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you not seen these movies?
Yeah, I have. Well,
You're old enough to have grown up.
I've seen them, but it's been a while.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Why haven't you seen these? Everyone should see 1 and 2 for Christmas every year.
Of course.
It's the best. I mean, his siblings are awful to him, but it's the best.
Well, every year, me and my dad and whoever else wants to watch, we watch Christmas Vacation.
That's good too. You have time to watch all that stuff.
That's true. We do.
All right. Here we go.
Okay.
We're talking about revolving door. So outside is that horrible Disney Plus remake. No one wants it, and it's damaging to everybody.
What year did the 4th one come?
I'm trying to get this thing.
Okay.
I'm trying to help because we've spent way too much time in metaphor land.
We're trying to.
I have to finish this metaphor now. I cannot move on.
Yes.
Here's... And we picked Home Alone. So this is the desert and despair of Home Alone 4. I mean, it's after Eve ate the apple and God kicked him out. That's Home Alone 4. It's outside.
And to clarify, that is active addiction and alcohol.
Yeah.
Okay, just so the audience.
There's a door and it revolves.
You might have lost them by now.
There's a door and then you go inside. Inside is Home Alone 1 or 2. I think it's Home Alone 2 because we talked about it's a hotel and that's where the whole thing is.
It's two. Pizza.
That's a life worth living.
Pizza.
Chronic relapsing is a revolving door.
Yeah.
So we're spinning around that revolving door.
1 foot in Home Alone 2, 1 foot in Home Alone 4.
You don't want to be there. That's tough.
No.
You don't get to enjoy either side.
No.
Pretty good metaphor too. You don't get to enjoy it. So you have 1 foot in and the program and 1 foot in your alcoholism. That's not enjoyable for anybody.
No.
Yeah. You're just cut off by that revolving door. So what we've been doing, what I did for most of my 20s and what you have been doing is...
For most of my 20s.
Yeah. Going through this revolving door. I think what you're doing right now is, we'll get more into it. You're starting to do different things.
Yes.
And you're learning.
Yes.
And you get to be spit out into Home Alone 2 area.
Yeah. That's the hope.
Yeah. I think at any time, anybody can go back out if they don't continue to do the day-to-day things.
Yeah.
Like, we forgot to tell each other how we stayed sober today, but that's why we asked that.
Yeah.
On the other end, you can get locked out of Home Alone 2 paradise, or a life worth living paradise, and that's the death of drawn by your addiction or alcoholism.
Well, and the last time I relapsed, I mean, I had mentioned it like it was it was rough, and I was like, man, I'm gonna kill myself if I keep living like this. But this time I was
locked out of the revolving door. Yeah. All right, I'll quit going back to the metaphor.
It's a good metaphor, and it makes makes perfect sense to me.
I believe in it.
But I this time was a lot of like it.
This is the most down bad for those kids who are listening. I've ever seen you, and it was scary.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's scarier than when I sent you that scary text in June?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh. That was a drunk text that you sent. It was the text you sent me before your last. It was a drunk text, and I was like, I could kind of see that. Yeah, it's definitely some pain there and everything. But I had not physically sat down with you.
Yeah, that's true.
So you're in this thing.
Drew came over on a Tuesday night. Yeah. I had not slept from the night before.
Yeah.
I was high on meth when you came over.
Okay.
Oh, cool. I didn't tell you this, did I? Okay. So Drew, I'm so hungover.
Scared the shit out of me with that gun, man. Oh my God.
Drew wanted to see my gun, and then he got scared when he saw my gun.
Well, I'll say this. I was scared when we were talking. It was like it started as a normal phone call, but yeah, clearly you're high and hadn't slept or anything.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of raw emotion on that phone call. And I was like, definitely coming over there right now.
Yeah.
But I was also a little worried for you.
Yes.
Just for how you sounded. I never heard you sound like that before. And so I come up and then I knock.
Yeah.
I was apprehensive at the door. I don't know, man. I don't know. You sound. It was just not us. You sounded like I said. I never heard you sound like that before. You didn't answer my first knock, and I was like, "Fuck."
Oh yeah, I don't know.
You didn't answer the first knock, and I was like, you say, "Come in," and I was like, "I hope he doesn't kill me with his gun."
Oh no, no, I wouldn't do that.
I know. I don't. But I don't know.
Right,
I never experienced you high on meth, maybe on crack or something like that. So my job was to, get you out of there, get you out of your apartment, just at least for a walk.
We did go to a meeting,
Yeah.
Went to a meeting, and then I called my new sponsor,
and
I asked him to sponsor me.
Yeah,
and then I was a little resentful at you because I was like, I'm not done getting high. Because then I went over to his house the next night. And I was there. He knows this, but I was high on meth when we did our first meeting, and he didn't care. He's like, this is of course you did.
I knew you weren't done getting high.
Yeah,
that's why I was like, I did the one question of like, is that everything? And you're like, yeah, that's everything. I was like, no, it's not.
Oh fuck.
But I'm not like. But I'm your friend. I'm not your parent or anything like that, and so I'd never want to step over that line. I'm just gonna get you to a meeting and make sure you don't hurt yourself or somebody else.
Yeah, and it's a good thing I went. I was also, it's weird because I felt that night before, I'd been up all night. I did a bunch of coke, and for some reason it kept me up all night. There might have been meth in it.
What?
But that night before.
Both coke and meth kept you up all night?
You
can sleep on coke? God, it's been
that's the
ages.
least part.
Yeah.
And then I was up all day, and then I had this dealer's number, and I was like, I need something to like pick me up. And I called him, he had meth. I smoked meth, and it made me feel a lot better, honestly.
What? It did?
It made me feel way better. And then I actually slept that night.
Our first and ever sponsor.
And so, but then and then we went to the Georgia Ole Miss game that Saturday. And I wasn't done getting high until that Saturday. And then.
Oh yeah. And that's when I was like, damn, dude, like he's definitely still doing stuff. What can I do? Cause you were in a depressive state at the Georgia Ole Miss game.
Oh yes. And that's because just from the whole week of and I'm like this.
No, not depressed. I think you're just exhausted. You just seemed
exhausted. I was exhausted. I was also anxious because your dad was there, and I was like, he's gonna know I'm getting fucked up. Right.
No. Want some. He's my mom refused to go to the Georgia game with me. He just wants company. That's all he did.
Yeah. But and then at the game I was feeling really twitchy and I couldn't help like moving my mouth in like weird ways. Like this is miserable. I was just miserable. I enjoyed the game. The game was good, but it was one of the best football games I've ever seen Georgia play. It was very impressive.
I think it was their best performance.
It was, and that was fun to watch.
Only for the SEC championship game. We got to get you back out there. There's some correlation with Taylor being high on drugs and Georgia doing really well in games. Forget this podcast. Forget about us making sure you're well. It's for the sake of the Georgia Bulldogs that you've got to get you high again.
I was sober when Ohio State lost to Michigan, so
damn. Forget everything we all learned.
But at the game, I brought meth with me to the game because I
was it in your pocket at the stadium?
Yes, but I wasn't planning on doing all of it. I was just like, this is just to get me through in case I like start to whatever.
Well, it's good to know for security.
But then I took a little bit before we left. I took just enough for like, okay, just to wake up, whatever.
Yeah.
And that just took me through. And I was so sick and tired of feeling the way I was feeling. I was like, and then when we were leaving, I flushed it all down the toilet. I was like, this fucking sucks. I still had some here, but I came home and flushed it down the toilet. I did stop and
Denzel flight style.
Yeah, I did stop on the way home and get beer because like I need to like just check out. But that was the night I was done with. But then the next day I was like, I just drank the whole next day at work. And then that was the last day I drank.
All right.
And that was,
what's your sobriety date now?
17 days ago.
Do you know your sobriety date?
Yeah, it's November.
It's my birthday.
No, it's not. It's November 13th.
So close. My birthday's my belly button birthday is the 14th.
Yeah. So I got sober.
Sweet. That's another time they
13th.
celebrate.
And leaving out, we kind of skipped over my parents thing, but
yeah.
Well, I also went up to Ohio.
I blame the metaphor.
Yeah,
metaphor fucked it up.
But I went. So my parents came, and it was fine. But then and then when they left, I went like that Sunday. I went back out and just did more drugs, and then I went up to Ohio, and I was drinking a little bit. But then one night I drank all day during the Ohio State Rutgers game, and I drank all day. And then I went over to my brother's apartment just to hang out. He had people over, and then his friend had cocaine. And then I snuck into the bathroom with his friend. And
do your brothers notice anything?
Well, I don't know because I wasn't like super fucked up.
Yeah,
I was just like day drunk, but like I'd been drinking, basically like maintenance drinking to just not feel anxious or being just like putting myself through. My brain chemistry was just like it'd been through a lot.
What I've experienced and correct me if you felt something different is it gets like, and people have said this before, it heightens up and gets pretty ratcheted up once you go back out. Like it's very quickly you get to a place where you didn't think you'd get back to before.
Oh, right away.
In terms of like, for me, when I went back out, I was immediately getting obliterated, with whatever alcohol I could find.
Yeah.
Within the next, I was like, I'll just gradually be okay. Yeah. No, within like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
It was like that. It just gets, I was sorry. I'm lost the word that I was going to use, but it gets ratcheted up really quickly. The more you go out, the more times you go back out, in my experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And then his friend had cocaine. We stuck in the bathroom, and then I did it. But then my brother was like, he knew what was going on. And then like we left the bathroom. He was like, oh, can I talk to you? We went into his room. He's like, hey, if you're going to do that, I need you to leave, whatever. And basically getting scolded by my younger brother. He was like, this is embarrassing. And then we're cool now. I apologize to him, and it's cool. But it's like, and then came back to.
It's brave of him to do that. Honestly.
Yeah, that's going to be hard for him.
Yeah.
But he's like, he's like, I've seen you at your worst, and I just can't see you like this. And that I went up to Ohio because he proposed to his girlfriend. And then I came back, and there was that was like middle of the relapse, and then came back, and that's pretty much all of it, I think.
Yep. And then you're high on meth, and you show me your gun, and then
I showed you my gun. So that's what it was like.
What
happened and what it's like now.
But the beauty of this thing is you're out of it. You made it back.
But because before, like my past relapses before that were like out for like 4 days and back in, out for like, it seems like this now I'm seeing it starting to take longer.
Ready for the next metaphor? In. So the past relapses were like you kind of dipping your toe in the water. Yeah. This relapse, you just straight up cannonballed into the deep end.
Yeah. I got out pretty quick. I mean, I could have been out there a lot longer, but
yeah.
I mean, I
the revolving door could have locked.
Yeah, and no one has the keys.
And no one has keys. Not even Donald Trump from Home Alone 2.
The keys are somewhere. I'll find them eventually. But and whenever I go back out, the keys get further and further away.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Think of when you relapse.
Yeah.
And finding the keys to get back in the program is like directions from an Airbnb host, and they get more and more, intricate and detailed of how to find the keys.
Well, it's like when Airbnb started, Airbnb hosts were...
This whole podcast is just me to make crazier and crazier metaphors now.
Airbnb let you do everything, and now Airbnb is basically like, you must clean the house, mow the lawn, take my child to childcare.
We'll charge you $100, it only costs $150 a day here, but here's our $200 cleaning fee. By the way, that's your cleaning fee. You're going to be doing the cleaning.
Yeah. You have to pay us for the privilege of cleaning our house.
Anyways, you got back on board.
And now we're back on board, and I'm feeling good. I did have a cold. I got a cold in Ohio. I think it's because Ohio State lost. I got a cold.
I mean, that was a tough game. I was with our other friend who was a Ohio State grad, and we were having some trouble watching.
I don't know. I didn't feel confident. I did not very much of the game did I feel like Ohio State was going to win. So
they played not to lose. They didn't play to take.
Defense played to win. Offense played confusingly. Offense is just, it's like a bunch of wasps out there. It's no one's.
Offense played not to lose.
Yeah.
Anyways, but you're back in.
Yes, I'm back in. I got a new sponsor.
So I think that's important to point out. Is just if we're in that revolving door, we have to do some drastic changes.
And this is the most drastic change I've made. And what am I doing? It's really not that much, but it is different than what I was doing before. So new sponsor, 90 and 90.
We've talked about that before. Just 90 meetings in 90 days. I count this as a meeting. I really do. This is two alcoholics or addicts meeting.
Right.
And usually sharing some literature, but at least talking about the subject of the program. So yeah, that's 90 meetings in 90 days, and we talked about how it's helpful scientifically for your whole system to restart and just to distract you in the early game
and
get in a routine.
Really, just prioritizing this over comedy mostly is the big thing, because before I would let comedy take a priority, and I really have been doing just. I could have fit in comedy here and there, but it's been nice to just. I mean, I'm doing a show tomorrow night. But I mean, I'm moving to Austin in June.
Is that fine? Is that
it's
planned?
pretty much just right. It's like 95% for sure. I mean, we don't have a place rented or anything, but it's like I've seen in Atlanta. There isn't anywhere for me to really go anywhere, and anywhere I could go, it doesn't matter at this point if I'm moving to Austin. And it's like
you're talking about the comedy scene.
Yes, and
but that shit doesn't happen at all.
Yeah.
Right. Unless, the program is right here. Yeah. And unlike trickle-down economics, the benefits actually do trickle down and help with everything, every other facet of life.
But, and what else? I mean, calling a lot of alcoholics every day. And really just, in
my experience, if you get to that point again where you're like, I'm not feeling so good anymore. Being honest with how you're feeling.
Being honest with how I'm feeling, and then when I'm feeling like that, actually like up the meetings maybe.
Yeah, or maybe something else, or
do like more recovery shit, because I would be doing more of the same.
Or like stay after a meeting, and it's so simple sometimes, and just like put up more chairs than you did before. Yeah. It's so weird how just like small little service things just get you out of your head.
Yeah.
I don't really want to go to this fellowship thing. This is just me talking. This is like how my brain. I don't really want to go eat pizza with people that I don't know very well, but it's fellowship. Go do it, because you'll have conversations with other people and not just your own crazy brain when you go home by yourself.
Yeah.
But that's it's and you gotta focus the fact that you got out and you got back in these things, and you're already clear. You have a clearer mind, clearer eyes, full hearts can't lose. Shout out Friday Night Lights. You gotta recognize that as the miracle that it really is.
Yeah.
Like you got a shot again.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I did have this cold I've had. It wasn't really that bad, but it's like, man, this is, at least when I'm a little bit sick, I still like go to work.
Yeah.
And like do what I need to do. Cause when I'm hungover, it's like being hungover for me is just like, I've gotten into this. I think I've conditioned myself also when I'm hungover to like, I'm just going to drink more.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to try.
Call it a little hair of the dog.
Yeah, and that dog is hairy.
Yeah, that dog can get real hairy.
That dog is
Rastafarian looking dog.
That dog
show.
That dog was locked out the revolving door a long time ago.
Yeah, those dogs aren't allowed in the fancy hotel that is Home Alone 2.
No. So
there we go.
What was this was I told and I am there is, for me right now there is a lot of like comfort in being like, okay, this is just my focus right now.
That's all it has to
be sober. And like just being like everything else will work out. Just be sober. Just focus on that. Everything, it seems just things work out better. And comedy, it will still it's still happening, but it's like right, comedy doesn't fucking matter right now.
Yeah.
And I've been putting out,
it'll still be there once you're in a more stable, once your program's more stable.
Yeah.
In my experience, like my other shit in my life, it gets, exactly. It's still there.
Yeah.
Not going anywhere. You don't have to seize anything. You're not auditioning for a special or SNL next week or anything like that.
And I really need to let go, and I'm trying to let go. I haven't been thinking about it much, but letting go of like my ideals and expectations for the future of like anything I think is going to happen in the future.
Good luck. Sometimes for me, some weeks are a lot easier to do that. Some weeks, especially, I think, going back, my struggle this week is I've really procrastinated on shit. I think there's some subconscious, I'm not going to be able to do this once I have a child is born. And so it was selfish time this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when I said I was like at work, I was working on watching YouTube. There we go. That's a little, you called me yesterday and the day before. Yeah, I was doing some stuff at the apartment, like basic cleaning and laundry and stuff like that, but I easily could have called you back. In my head, I was just in a selfish spot. So it doesn't go away at all. And but I can go to a meeting or I can talk about it.
Yeah.
In the way, as I'm glad that I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
The more honest I am, the easier it is to get out of that state.
Here's what it was laid out for me very very, very well in this speaker tape I listened to. I should send it to you. It was a cocaine.
I need some new stuff.
It was a Cocaine Anonymous meeting.
That's fine.
In this, she basically laid it out like in a very black and white way. She said like, if I'm not consciously, intentionally pursuing a spiritual life, if I'm not choosing that, by not choosing that, I am choosing an alcoholic death.
Yeah.
So if I'm not working towards this one thing, my complacency sends me in the other direction. And it was just like, for me, I'm at the point where I need to be like, this is actually really serious.
Yeah.
And I've known it's serious for a long time, but I have played around with it way too fucking much. And and the scare, I mean, I told you this, but for the audience, the scariest part for me, or the scariest part for me, was sitting in this chair right here, taking a Percocet with a Narcan open, like because I didn't test. I don't know why I had fentanyl test strips in there, but I guess I didn't think of it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, if I start to OD or something, at least I have Narcan right here. But it's like, it's a very lonely, scary thing to be. Alcoholism and drug addiction is a very lonely disease.
Yeah.
It's sad and lonely. Yeah. It's such a, I mean,
because it's only moved by the self.
Yeah. And it's isolating, and it's like, and well, in this speaker tape, the speaker was saying like, what is like, I have two options here, whatever. And the other is like, or I can choosing to blot out my miserable existence. It's in the book.
Yeah.
It's really good though. It's like, yeah, it's a truly miserable existence that it's one thing to say it's miserable, but then experiencing it is like, this is
crazy. Yeah.
This is painful in a way that's like, I feel like there's no way out.
Yeah, it's crazy. You can get really deep down in it. And it all starts with just some instant gratification, just like everyone has those. And just for us, it's just that much more dangerous.
Instant gratification is just it. For some reason, it affects us in a way. It's like, oh, I need so much more.
Yeah. It was like, that felt good. Now it's time to like end my life with it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're back. I'm glad these should be weekly. They'll happen weekly, and then when you move, we'll figure it out. We'll do it over. have a fancy new computer.
We could do it over Zoom.
Yeah,
you just got to get a fancy mic.
Yeah. You show me what mic to get, and I'll hook it on up.
This one.
And then I'll do it with like my new baby in hand.
And our our guest today is a baby.
Yeah.
Drew's baby.
Hopefully.
Wait, what's the name?
Maddox. That's
it's a girl?
Yeah.
It's a girl.
Yeah. It's going to be spelled just like Greg Maddox. That's
no football for this baby.
That's how Braves obsessed.
If you were having a boy, would you even let it play football?
No.
Because of CTE.
It's a whole different thing. I mean, we're about done, but yeah. CTE. Flag football, go for it. Yeah. I want to... I want my daughter to know how to spin a spiral. The selfish dream I have as a father is to have. I joke.
Yeah.
It's like a 20% joke, 80% I'm embarrassingly serious. I want her to be the first major league pitcher, female major league pitcher in baseball. I think it's possible if she can learn a knuckleball. She has to like it. Okay, she has to like it. I don't believe in softball. I think that's really. I don't know. Maybe not degrading. Like, why can't girls and women play baseball in Japan? They don't have they kind of have softball in Japan, but they all play baseball.
At the very least, she has to play for the Savannah Bananas.
Oh yeah, at least. Yeah. Depends on her, biological genetic makeup. Yeah. But if she likes it, we can try to get her to work her legs up to the point of throwing it, 80 to 85 as a fastball, and then if she can get a knuckle curve and a knuckle ball, well, we'll see.
Do you
That's the dream.
Do you?
She'll just live my dreams.
Will you have her play sports though?
She likes it. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here to support whatever she will, I'm not want to gender her or whatever. Yeah. Whatever this baby will want.
I'm also like, I'm thinking about getting back into exercise because I'm like, I feel like I should do that because I just feel like no matter what, it's like
I'm at my best when I'm doing that consistently.
Yeah,
I'm not right now. Yeah. I need to get that.
I just feel I'm like tired a lot of the time. And like, I thought it was caffeine, but it's like, I think I just need to exercise. I mean, work is kind of like a workout, but it's not the same as exercise.
Yeah. That's a pretty,
there's a Planet Fitness right over there.
Yeah. It's $10 a month.
Oh,
I was actually, because I don't have any room in my apartment because it's like a sad small space.
Yeah.
I was thinking about, because I'm not too far from there, just getting the membership over there. Maybe you get one, I get one, and we meet each other up.
We could. We
can grunt and get kicked out.
I think we'd be okay. I think if you're a bodybuilder, they get mad. Yeah. But I used to, working out and
exercise. Too sexy. Get out of our
working out.
Too sexy. Get out of our Planet Hollywood.
Planet Hollywood, the video store.
Yeah.
But working out and exercise used to be like such an important, like a big thing in my life. I used to do it all the time, and now I haven't done it in like 2 years.
Yeah, I've been off it, like 4 months.
I've been saying this. I'm off vegetables. So.
Yeah,
I'm actually.
How important are they? All right, I think. How long have we been going?
53 minutes.
I feel good.
Yeah, I feel good. That's a good episode back.
It's good to be back.
It's good to be back.
Good to have you back.
Good to be here.
I'm excited for this new chapter.
Yeah,
I think you should be too.
It does. It feels.
Got to feel a little different.
It feels a little different.
Yeah.
And last time I came back, I didn't want to do any work. I was like, oh, fuck this. This is the same old. It's good. The changes are good. And it took some convincing for myself to be like, okay, I'm actually going to do 90 and 90. Because that 90 and 90 suggestion, I'm like, but what about comedy? What about work? What about all the things I have to do?
So you're already checked marked off for today, 90 and 90, I believe. Yeah. That's a great suggestion, not just for a new person coming in, but or if you've like kind of lost the plot a little bit, as our neighbors across the pond would always like to say. If
the Iraqis?
Oh no. What, the freaking Mongols?
Who are you talking about? The Japanese?
What, Alaskans? Cross the pond.
You go over there.
I was talking about lakes.
I went over there one time and they said, how about a little smooch?
Oh, the Alaskans?
Yeah.
Oh man, they're crazy. They wear like fancy
bearskin rugs.
Ooh, right over their heads. Eat whale thorns.
Eat nothing but whale blubber.
Yeah. make ice cream out of that shit.
Classic Alaskans. Alaskans. Right. Wait, is that Inuits?
Inuits. Yeah, it's for some reason Inuit sounds more of like a slur than Eskimo, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Inuit's the
really
right
does.
thing to say.
Yeah,
Eskimo's the wrong thing to say.
But Inuit sounds like the bad word.
You Inuits, get out of our town!
Well, I guess hold on before we go, Drew. What did you do to stay sober today? What's going
barely
on?
anything. I prayed and I talked to some alcoholics.
What's going on in Drew's world? How's Drew doing?
Oh, I've been better, but I've also been much worse.
Yeah,
but it's good to talk about honesty and talk about how I've been. And it's been a selfish week, so I got that stuff to work on.
But you got a cart that's painted.
Oh yeah, it looks beautiful.
Okay,
I served Teddy Swims. Teddy Swims. He's an artist. He's a country artist.
Oh, I've heard of him.
Yeah, He's very short but very nice.
Does he wear a cowboy hat?
No, he's like a little chubby Action Bronson. Yeah, Action Bronson if he was a country singer. He's got tattooed and everything. But his whole group was very nice. Served him coffee at the Tabernacle with a fully painted cart.
Oh, was the Tabernacle hired you or they hired you?
Tabernacle hired me.
Okay, cool. For a Teddy Swims concert?
We're an option for green rooms at the Tabernacle.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we met some cool people.
What's the highest profilist person?
Stevie Nicks.
No way.
Yeah, huh?
You met Stevie Nicks?
Yep.
What'd you say? She's
Like,
why'd you do that to Tom Petty?
I will say.
Yeah, why'd you break a Fleetwood Mac?
No, I didn't see Stevie Nicks. I served her whole crew and everything, but I never met her. She was in her trailer the entire time. But as a group, as an actual band, My Chemical Romance, the whole band came out and everything.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a fun thing. It's a fun aspect to the job.
That is fun.
Yeah.
Promises coming true.
Yeah, promises coming true. All right. Next week, we will get back into reading the book. I don't know where the hell we are.
Next week, we bring in a live rattlesnake.
Ooh.
He's a guest. He's going to look.
I'll figure out how to make a metaphor out of it.
It's
a really simple metaphor.
We do have a third mic.
So nice.
We could do the rattlesnake thing for real if you're
pick it up.
That's a real good. I might switch to using that for my solo.
Have a Bernie Mac moment if you like.
I'm scared of you.
Yeah, so a bit.
Yeah.
Like that.
All right. Yeah. Goodbye, ladies and guys.
All right. Bye.